I'm Lee, and this week I think I want to make a spoon to reach down into the bottom of this coffee mug to be able to stir the sugar in. For this project, I'm going to use 3/8 round rod, and I'm going to use a chisel, a file, and then just this ball peen. Because whenever I started blacksmithing, I always wanted to be able to make projects. I didn't have tongs. I didn't have any kind of tools. And the more basic it was, the more fun it was. I didn't want to sit there and forge tools all day, so I kind of just started doing projects, and then eventually you get into tool making. But this is about as simple as I can get with anything, so this is what I'm going to start with today. I've also had a few comments about the way I swing a hammer. I keep my thumb up here on the top, and it's been brought to my attention that causes nerve damage for long-term use like that. So I'm going to start trying to change my grip. Now, I may not be perfect at that. My thumb may move back up. I've kind of built a habit of that. But I'm going to try my best and work on that today. Let's start by tapering off the end. Now I'm just going to pick a spot. It doesn't need to be very long. And then just it's probably good. Now I just want to narrow that up. This will be the spoon portion, and I'll just taper back a handle. Doesn't have to be too much of one, and then we'll just widen this off at the top. Now I'm going to start rounding this, and it probably should not be as hot as what I have it. I've got that rounded off. Now I just need to work on the spoon. Now I got a little too pointy out here. Might be able to fix that. I can set it right here and knock it against the anvil. But I just want a really tiny little spoon right there. So all you're doing is stirring coffee or using it as a bar spoon. So take another heat and fix that up. It's too thin to drive back in, so that's fine. I'll just chisel it. A lot of this you can kind of do pretty cold because it is mild steel. At least this is. Perfect. Now one of the tricks is to keep it at a lower heat than what I am doing, because I am paying attention to the camera more than the forge. But I'm going to set this up on a block of wood and just give it a good smack. Now this does not need much of a contour because this is just a little tiny spoon. Now I'm going to straighten this back out, or you can leave it like that, and get ready for the next part, which is making the handle. Now use your coffee mug as a reference for where you want to have your handle. So I want mine out here somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run an offset right about in here. Doesn't really matter. Now the only thing left is to chisel this off. This will not take very much because it's just mild steel. If you can get it most of the way through, then you can just snap that off whenever it cools off. Or if you're real brave and would just want to drive the chisel through, you can bounce this thing across the room. I wouldn't advise that though. Now to reestablish the scale back out here on this end, I'm just going to tuck this back into the forge. It's probably still hot enough to get that scale back up. I've reestablished the scale back out here on the end. Now, I didn't think about it, but if you're only using basic tools, most likely you don't have a wire wheel, at least an electric one. So, to get the scale off, I actually seen this comment the other day, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who commented it, but they said to use white vinegar and it will pull the forge scale off of pieces you're working on. So this is a prime time to use that. So let's try an experiment. It's been 24 hours. I can already see a lot of forge scale laying in the bottom of this bag. So let's get this thing out of there. Oh, it's looking good. Give it a little bit of a scrub. Oh, it's really clean. Got most of the forge scale off. Well, actually, it looks like got all of it. rinse this off and see what it looks like once I get it rinsed off. This is it right after it come out. Give it a little bit of a scrub. It's very clean. Now, as an afterthought, I should have chiseled and done a little bit of file work to this to make it look a little bit fancier. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So I may have to repeat this process to get a finish back or to get the scale back off of it. But I didn't think of it in the beginning. I'm going to use my hot cut to chisel this in. I do not advise that because most likely probably going to tear up the end of it. But I said that I wouldn't use anything but the tools that I had laying around, so I can't heat it back up, so I'm going to go ahead and use this. Now my hot cut is hardened, which may help it survive a little bit, but it may not. It may have already pulled the heat treat out of it. But I'm just going to put a small cold line in it. Chisel little beauty mark in it. I went ahead and finished this with a little bit of beeswax. Turned out really good. I'm happy with it. With just very basic tools that you can really transform something to look great. And it's going to function right. It's not much, but it's a fun little project. This project was a lot of fun. Got to learn something new. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.